So now, we'll just we have a great program today, the four-way speech contest, which we will be, bringing in remotely for our first ever remote speakers into one of our Rotary meetings here. And now we're going to move on with with our main event today, the four-way speech contest. It's going to look a little bit different. Obviously Tony here tried to get the students here, tried very hard to get the students here, but it just wasn't to be. But we're giving something else a shot this year, which is having a live speech presentation by each of these students on the big screen here, played for everybody at our meeting. Everybody knows this has been a stalwart project in the club for years. Absolutely wonderful, and I'm excited that, again, even though it's not what we're used to, that we're able to make this happen today. So now I'm going to hand it over to Tony to take the reins and introduce both the contest itself and the students.
All right, taller than me here. So good afternoon, and thanks everybody for coming today to support the students in the contest. As you probably all know, I've been involved in it for a couple of years to help facilitate the contest, and it truly has been an honor. The last 2 years have certainly looked a little different, but it has been an incredible experience getting to know the students and have them apply some basic Rotarian concepts to topics that are relevant to them. As many of you know, the speech contest asks students to apply the Rotary four-way test to a topic that is relevant. This not only teaches them critical thinking skills, it also helps them evaluate a topic that may have deep emotions rooted in it. Today, you'll see exactly that as each of these students evaluate a topic that is both personal to their lives using the Rotary four-way test. In 5 to 8 minutes, each of the students will ask themselves as they evaluate a topic, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? We've got 4 speakers from SciTech High School, each of who have been carefully crafting their speeches for over a month. However, what impresses me most about these students is that they have chosen to participate in this speech contest despite the many difficulties. It is not ideal for a speech contest to take place half on Zoom, half in person, with masks, an intricate technological setup during yet another difficult academic year. Last year, these students were entirely remote. So in addition to their schoolwork, these students are still getting into the swing of attending school in person again. Over the last few weeks, these students have emailed me speech scripts that they work on at home. They've taken opportunities to Zoom with masks in the hallway just for extra help. These students have had to think about things that other participants haven't had to, like how do I create a compelling and visually appealing message for an audience that's in a room and on Zoom while I wear a mask 4 feet from a camera that's attached to a laptop. I know for me, they skipped that in public speaking in college. So I'm very impressed with these students. It's a true testament to their resiliency. And on top of that, I'd like to give a shout out to our IT team who have spent hours over the past few months ensuring that today was possible. This is the first time we Zoomed in outside speakers. Next week is international speakers. So this is the first step, but I don't want to waste any more time, but I do want to introduce our wonderful judges. We have 4 excellent judges. First, we have the wonderful Virginia Roth. As you know, Ginny was the first female member of the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. She received the club's community service recognition in 1998. She's the president of the woman-owned advertising firm, PPONS, and serving clients across the Commonwealth and in many other states. Ginny has judged this contest in the past and has been asked again this year because of her ability to judge the contest with incredible compassion. So thank you, Ginny. Second, we have a man who needs no introduction, Floyd Super Reader Stokes, who is deeply committed to the growth of our youth. He is the founder and executive director of the American Literacy Corporation, a nonprofit program promoting reading to children. He's the author of more than 25 children's books, and Floyd's honors include the James Patterson Page Turner Award and the renaming of his high school library in his honor. He has read to children in all 50 states. He's served in the U.S. Army, lives in Harrisburg, and has been wonderfully supportive of Rotary in the past. Thank you, Floyd. Third, one of my personal favorites as a Harrisburg University person, we have Quasi Abroka, who is a talent manager at Harrisburg University. Before coming to Harrisburg, Quasi previously served as a behavioral therapist in the Philadelphia school system, but at HU, Quasi teaches a Keystone seminar in which students participate through active learning in the areas of civic engagement and teamwork, and further develop their presentation skills. This course focuses on the refinement of the student's academic and professional identity through coaching and mentoring, and recently was recognized by Central Pennsylvania Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Award, which recognizes Central PA's leaders under the age of 40 based on their professional accomplishments, community service, and commitment to inspiring change. So thank you, Quasi. And last but not least, we have Fiordalisa Anna White. Actually, I'm going to switch here, who is a beautifully young 35-year-old, I don't know why you have that in there, college graduate of Denison University. While in attendance, she received a dual bachelor's degree in sociology and education. She serves as the director of programming for Bro to Go, a prevention and intervention program for entrants at-risk youth. She's an independent contractor for All Youth Access Incorporated, director for strategic content management for Urban Revolution marketing and branding, and recently the director of community relations and engagement for the Harrisburg Police Department. And I don't know where you find the time, but she's the mother of 3 children. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are lucky, wonderfully, wonderful judges. So we're going to switch now to the speech contest. We've got 4 speakers today who are ready to get rolling. And if Mr. Bonini and his class are ready, we're going to get started with Rahina, a senior at SciTech High.
Good morning, all. Mr. Bonini here, and we are indeed ready. We have Rahina coming up when she is ready.
My name is Rahina Holiday, and today I'll be discussing whether or not love is real. I think the saddest thing about love is the almost part. It's the I was almost chosen, or we almost made it, or we could have been great. But we have to understand that within the shadows of the dark, that there can be light. Therefore, love can be real. It's just about our own definition of it. And we have to understand this concept has to go beyond what societal expectations are for what love should be. Through the Rotary 4-way test, I will examine whether or not the realness of love is within a person's own definition of it. And this will be within the consideration of its truth, fairness to all considered, the ability to build goodwill and better friendships, and its benefits to all considered. It is true that love is a connection that we all strive for. It's a connection that we even seek for in our family members or close friends. It's that soft kind of love that we look for, the best friends kind of love, or the love that we've never even felt before. When you've seen something that you really want, like a person, place, or thing, you have a deeply care for it. When you seek for a platonic relationship or not, you hold it to your heart because you care for it so deeply. When you build quality relationships, we long for them to last, for comfort or loyalty, but we search for it in unexpected places, and it'll mean a lot for us in the long run. Although some of us don't want to look for love, the deepest part of us really want the rosy-colored view of the world and have wishful thinking to find love. The people who give us the sense of floating on clouds make us lose all care of the world. They're the people who make us grateful for the big moments, the small moments, and everything in between. These are the people that we cherish very dearly to make us care about our life and make it better. These are also the people that make us care about every valley and every peak. They make it as if nothing is more valuable than the present moment and our future. This is where happiness thrives. In turn, you are proud for where you've gone and can't wait to create the future that you long for with this person. And you stop chasing mountains and clouds and discover the beauty that is found right here in the ground amidst all your waiting. The people that is in your life that you love or deeply care about are the people that give you grace and a grateful heart. These are the people who you cherish the most. This is the reason why love is real. To all who is concerned, the world is too gray to walk in with a black and white mindset of what love isn't. The benefit of this is that learning what makes you see color is all about finding the puzzle pieces that connects it all to beautifully depict your own life. To those who have been heartbroken, betrayed, or backstabbed, the moments that define your life are your own, no one else's. To those who have been heartbroken and cannot go back up, you can. The big mess of emotions that we experience from the heartbreak or betrayal are the moments that make us understand that what we had before was in fact real and even a form of love. Some people cannot unlock this level of realization, but they can understand that this was a form of love. Within every single part of us, even the parts of us that aches to have the moments back again, or the people back in our lives, we must understand that amidst all of that, the benefits of what we've come to learn within all of that. When you think back to when the weather was warm and when you still had them, but now the weather is cold and they're gone, you understand that you will be a part of their book of memories, and you'll even be a chapter or a page in that, and you'll just have to hope that they run their fingers through the words often and think of you. To conclude, I have gone over why love is real by using the 4-way test. To recap, it's true that even when you've almost had love, have love, or will love, or been broken by it, it is all forms of it. You must understand that from all the emotions that we felt, it is the realness from that all that is a definition of love that can build goodwill and friendships. Because you will better understand that from the emotions and feelings that you've had, whether or not they were real to you or anyone else, it's your own definition of it, going past societal expectations of what it should be. This is beneficial to all concerned because it goes within any form of it, past, present, or future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahina. We'll give the judges a minute to write their final comments as Miracle, a senior at SciTech High, takes the podium.
Okay. Hi, I'm Miracle, everyone. All right. He's lost. Graduated some years ago, not sure what's the next step. What's the next move? What is he going to do with his life now? He's lost. You're 21 and still live at home? Oh, mama's boy. Didn't hop off that porch yet, huh? You gotta grow some balls, man. He's lost. Still figuring himself out. His desires, what he enjoys, his strengths and weaknesses, what he wants to be, what he wants to spend the rest of his life pursuing. He's improving. He's becoming a man. He's finally seen the part of life that is too hard for anyone to explain or teach. Adulthood. He is my brother. Unlike the majority, my brother chose to stay at home after graduation. He was unsure of where he wanted to take his life. He's enrolled into Hack Community College and plans on furthering his studies at a four-year university to become a neurosurgeon. He's no failure, as so others would say, or societies would say. Society pressures young folks to have their lives put together at such a young age, when in fact we are still learning ourselves and what makes us happy. We live in a world today where living at home after your teenage years is considered childish. Why is this the norm? Why is it more frequent for young adults to rush their lives because society says so? This may not be relevant to everyone, but I would like to evaluate this topic through the
Miracle, somehow you got muted, honey.
Uh-oh.
I got you.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
Okay. All right.
You're good.
We live in a world today where living at home after your teenage years is considered childish. Why is this the norm? Why is it more frequent for young adults to rush their lives because society says so? This may not be relevant to everyone, but I would like to evaluate this topic through the four-way Rotary test, which asks us to consider: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? First, is it true? In reality, no one has their life figured out by the time they graduated high school. That's unrealistic. In fact, you never know where life may take you. If you take a look around you, many people have degrees that they do not use at all, or they switch their careers or studies so often because they grow and they change their mindsets and their focuses. Statistics show that only 27% of college grads have a job related to their degree. Interestingly, about 39% of college grads don't use the degree in their current profession, and about only 80% of college students change their majors at least once. This goes to show that no one has their life planned out and are ready for life. So yes, it is true that staying at home after graduation could lead to a better path in getting prepared for life. It gives you a chance to learn yourself so that you are not the statistic and that you are more likely to not change your career. Young adults who move out so young are failing to meet society needs, which causes them to go broke, move back home, or live with someone else. Not to mention, life is not as easy as it may seem as a child. So as a young adult getting prepared for the real world, it should not be considered childish to live at home. It should be considered normal. Secondly, is it fair to all concerned? Eventually, everyone has to grow up whether they like it or not, or whether they're ready or not. Everyone moves at their own pace. So yes, to answer that question, we are all going to be affected by this in our future. I believe it is fair to all because it would promote the individuals mentally, financially, and knowing ourselves physically. And once we can become our best selves and get prepared for the real world, we could all succeed. Just think, if we all took a step back to examine ourselves before leaving home after graduation, there wouldn't be so many people in debt, so many people changing their careers or studies, so many people stressed with life, so many people unfinancially stable, and so many people who are not aware of just who they are as a person. Self-evaluation is important and it should be normalized, and one shall not be judged for taking a little more time than others to do so. This leads me to my third question Rotary asks, will it build goodwill? Yes, it will build goodwill. I'm thinking for our future, the bigger picture, and how we can develop as a society. With so many people in this world that lack responsibility, self-knowledge, or even about the world they live in, this could all be changed if we made our future just as much as a priority as society made pressuring us to move out. Will you give yourself a chance to get to know what you are capable of, your strengths and weaknesses, and your goals in life? You have the chance to get there and succeed. When it comes to the big life milestones, you're better to do them when the time is right for you instead of worrying about what everyone else around you is doing. Lastly, will it be beneficial? As I've gone over today, the benefits of staying home and the better chances we have to succeeding when doing so, we can conclude that it is beneficial. We'll be more prepared for life, we'll be self-evaluated, we'll have goals and be responsible and financially stable so that we could achieve those goals. And we could all grow as a society once we all succeed. I'd say if you have the funds to move out and feel ready, then go for it, by all means. But if not, no worries, there's no rush. I myself am a victim of this. I compare myself a lot to others often. I'm a senior myself and I don't feel prepared enough for the big life milestones. And I could say society does play a big part in that because we are all pressured to be ready and prepared and to know what we want to do and how we're going to get there, when in reality that is not how it goes. My advice to others would be to take some time to learn yourself. Don't rush your life thinking you know what you want and how you're going to get there, because that may change. And don't go living in someone else's dreams. You have plenty of time. To conclude, we have gone over why it should be considered normal for teens to stay at home after their teenage years or after graduation. To recap, it is true that staying home could lead to a better path to success because we are all self-aware and are more prepared for life and its challenges. It is fair to all concerned. If one succeeds, we can all concede. It builds goodwill in promoting teens mentally, financially, and physically. And lastly, it will be beneficial to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Miracle. You did a great job. All right, and then next up we'll have Sacheska, who is a junior at SciTech High.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be talking about the importance of body image and how it leads to success. Question: How many of you have ever struggled with self-confidence? Well, in this new generation, we're not only mentally but also physically affected by body image. We see body image as if it was a standard, when it's actually more about how you see yourself and accepting yourself for how you are. We need to learn to love ourselves, and if we don't want something about ourselves to be a certain way, we should simply work for a change in ourselves. Not to fit in with society, but to feel better about ourselves with the intention to please ourselves only. I can relate to this on a very emotional level, looking up to so many beautiful models, wishing to be just like them. This is because of what society has put into teenagers' minds, especially us young girls. I used to believe I wasn't good enough for the world, that I needed to look different, I needed to be skinnier or have a nicer body. This was mainly caused because of social media. Social media has an immense effect on teen minds when it comes to body image, self-love, and confidence. On a daily, we see posts of celebrities with their perfect skin and perfect bodies. It's like they put on a perfect life for us, for their followers. We see so much perfection that we wish to have. Implanted in the back of our minds is the thought that we need to be them, we need to look perfect, we need to have a perfect life. In this generation, almost everyone has social media. One of the largest platforms is Instagram. Researchers found that 87.6% of eating disorder-related posts pushed unapproved appetite suppressants, while nearly 53% directly promoted eating disorders. Teens seeing all this makes them feel as if it's normal to want to have an eating disorder because of that desire of wanting to be thin and perfect. Though these thoughts ruin teenagers' mental health, sometimes even their physical health. I myself went through a bad experience with self-confidence and body image. Like I previously said, I wasn't comfortable with myself at all. This was actually pretty recent. I was brainwashed by what society labeled as normal and beautiful. These expectations made me stop eating as a result of feeling different and not confident. I realized I was ruining my own health. So many consequences to not eating. Like over time, you can even develop an eating disorder. You can become tired or even depressed. An eating disorder that I'm pretty sure a lot of us are well aware of is anorexia. It can cause anemia, which is a type of blood cancer. Thankfully, nothing happened to me. However, I was risking my own health for what society labeled as a beauty standard. I slowly learned to love myself for how I was. I learned everything on social media is faked. It's an act or even a shield on people's true life. Having a good perspective of ourselves can have a massive impact on our life. Now today I will examine my topic through the Rotary 4-way test. Rotary asks us to consider, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? First, is it true that having a good perspective of yourself can impact your life in a good way? Well, yes, it is true. A good body image is accepting and appreciating the whole of one's body, including how it looks and what it can do. Also, having inner positivity. Having a good perspective of yourself can help you carry yourself in the sense of confidence, self-acceptance, and openness that makes you beautiful. Beauty is a state of mind, not a state of your body. Having confidence in yourself can surely help your future as well, because you will do better in school and even future careers by not worrying about what others will think. Secondly, is it fair to all concerned? Yes, it is fair to all concerned because almost everyone is affected by this issue. Even though the vast majority of people affected by body image are teen girls. A study showed that approximately 80% of US women don't like how they look. 70% of normal weight women want to be thinner, and it's not only women being affected by this, because 34% of men are dissatisfied with their body. Third, does a better perspective of yourself build goodwill and better friendships? Having self-confidence allows individuals to not be scared to do things wrong, always putting their best effort and being confident in yourself. The same confidence will help with friendships because we will make those around you feel as good as well. It promotes connection and closeness between friends as well as a safe and comfortable friendship. Now lastly, is it beneficial to all concerned? Yes, it is beneficial to all concerned because we struggle with this issue, and learning about it can help us all better our thoughts and actions. We have learned to not judge ourselves because of what seems like society's beauty standards. At the end of the day, everyone is unique and perfect in their own way. Also, a better perspective of yourself can help you have a confidence boost, helping you succeed more in life and feeling like you can do anything and not have to worry about what others may think. Now, to conclude, we have gone over why having a good perspective of yourself can have an immense impact on your life by using the Rotary 4-way test. To recap, it is true that having a good perspective of yourself can impact your life in a good way. It is fair to all concerned because almost everyone is affected by this issue. Having a better perspective of yourself does build goodwill and better friendships because it promotes connection and closeness between friends as well as a safe and comfortable friendship. It is beneficial to all concerned because we struggle with this issue, and learning about it can help us all better our thoughts and actions. Now remember that in order to have more success, we need to think positively of ourselves because change begins with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sapcheska. And then last speaker, we have Paula. Paula is a junior at SciTech High. And Paula, whenever you are ready, you can come on up.
It's Friday afternoon and the clock is ticking. You are working frantically to complete an assignment before the deadline, while silently screaming to yourself for not starting it sooner. How did this happen? What went wrong? How did you lose focus? Well, they're the endless hours you spent rereading old emails and checking social media, the excessive so-called preparation, the coffee breaks, and the time spent on other tasks that could have been safely left for next week. Sounds familiar? If so, you're not alone. The word we're looking for here is procrastination. What exactly is it? Why do we do it? And what are the possible consequences? With the show of hands, how many of us can admit that we're procrastinators? To procrastinate is to put off doing something, out of casual carelessness or just common laziness. Being a student in this age of technology is just one long lesson in temptation. Should we do our essay or watch YouTube? Should we study or binge watch Netflix? Read or Reddit? Hard choices, right? You see, I completed most of my middle school learning in Nigeria, and like most places there, they let you pick your classes, with the exception of some classes like math, English, and science, of course. Each class could only have 20 students in it, so if you really wanted a class, you had to request it earlier on. Like most kids that age, I wanted to have some classes with my best friend. We had about 2 months until school started, so we waited. In an attempt to remind ourselves, we set reminders on our phones, which we completely ignored, by the way. A few days before school started, we still had to pick out our classes, so we both logged in, hoping that we would get at least one class together. Surprisingly at that moment, but totally predictable looking back at it right now, we logged out. Our facial expressions changed within seconds of viewing the schedule. We had no classes together. This experience from procrastination is where I, sadly, lost a friend due to waiting too long to request our classes. Together, let us examine procrastination with the Rotary 4-way test. Rotary asks us to consider, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Firstly, Rotary asks us to consider if something is the truth. Is it true that procrastination is harmful? Well, procrastination can result in consequences from as little as missing the bus to failing the class. Studies have shown that approximately 38% of high school students have failed at least one class as a result of constant procrastination. 80 to 95% of college students engage in procrastination, approximately 75% consider themselves procrastinators, and over 50% find themselves consistently procrastinating. Wow. These numbers are triggering, aren't they? So yes, it is true that procrastination is harmful. Secondly, Rotary asks us to consider if an issue is fair to all concerned. Fair. The consequence of procrastination is fair to all concerned, whether good or bad. According to OxfordLearning.com, procrastination can have a negative impact on students' schoolwork, grades, and their overall health performance. Students who procrastinate experience high levels of frustration, guilt, stress, and anxiety, and in some cases leading to other issues like depression and low self-esteem. Procrastination is associated with a variety of dangerous and negative effects, which makes the effects of it fair to all concerned. Procrastination is a conscious action, which means that all is individually responsible for their own action, which makes procrastination fair. Thirdly, Rotary asks us to consider if an issue will build goodwill and better friendships. This is absolutely true. Overcoming procrastination is a very hard but very possible task, and the aftermath of it is very much worth it. Lack of procrastination, sometimes referred to as anticipation, allows us to get what needs to be done when it should be done. This way, we have more free time to associate with friends and family, thus building goodwill, and of course, better friendships. Lastly, Rotary asks us to consider if a better understanding of an issue will benefit all concerned. Overcoming procrastination is beneficial to all concerned. When you overcome procrastination, you have more free time to associate with friends and family. You also have more time to relax and prioritize mental health. Overcoming procrastination is beneficial to all concerned because it allows us to fully tap into our potential while also giving attention to every aspect of our lives. To conclude, we have gone over the consequences of procrastination with the Rotary 4-way test. To recap, it is true that procrastination is harmful. The consequences of procrastination are fair to all concerned. Being less of a procrastinator does build goodwill and better friendships, and it is beneficial to all concerned to limit procrastination. Will you, as the audience, procrastinate after this speech? Probably. You see, it is very unexpected for you to quit procrastination after this speech, but I do hope that you'll be more mindful and aware of potential procrastinative scenarios and acquire better skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. All right, at this point, our judges will get together. If you all want to, you can either grab a table back there or step out for a second and calculate the scores and have a conversation. And once they're ready, we'll announce the winners. Each year I've worked with the contest, the judges always come afterwards and describe how impossible of a task it is. And I don't think this year is any different. But we do have to judge them. That's the point of the contest, I guess. So, okay, so we'll start with third and fourth, or just third. We have, let me see the scoring here. We have Rahina and Sacheska. So wonderful. I have certificates for you, which you're not here. I'll drop them off, but we have certificates and coins for you. And of course, your gift card. Yes, tie for third. Yes, not third and fourth, tie for third. Good, thank you. And then in second place, we have Miracle. And then our first place speaker was the one who just spoke, was Paula. So. Excellent job. Thank you all for listening today.
Thank you very much, Tony. One more round of applause for all the SciTech students. I hope they can hear us.
They can absolutely hear you, and they are overjoyed. Did you want our winner to come up and say thanks or anything like that? Can't hear you, by the way.
Please, if she'd be willing.
Here we go. Paula, you want to come up to say something briefly? Proud of you.
Hi everyone, I'm Paula. I was at the Rotary contest last year, my sophomore year, and unfortunately I got last place and I was very heartbroken. I cried and I was not considering coming this year because of embarrassment, but I'm glad that I did. I worked really hard in this speech and was debating on 2 different topics, but I chose procrastination because it really spoke to me and I really wanted to make an impact with the Rotary Club. So thank you for having me and thank you for choosing me as your first place winner.
Congratulations again. And once again, congratulations to all of them. It takes a lot of courage to prepare those speeches and to present in front of this club, but they're the hard work that they put into it really shone through. And thank you to Tony Mark for your leadership in this project, and to our judges, thank you for the time and effort that you put into this as well. And the last thanks, a big round of applause for Sean Ang over here, running the tech crew. I certainly have nothing to do with this. He is the brains behind that setup over there. I did thank the judges. We can thank them again. Okay, thank you all for being here today. Hope everybody has a good week, and I hope to see you next week to pack some pancake goodie bags. Go forth and serve.